From losing to Hong Kong in a semi-final in 2006 to absolutely thrashing them in the Asia Cup opener, the Afghanistan cricket team have come an extremely long way.
It shouldn't come as a surprise if we say that Afghanistan is one of the best teams in the ongoing Asia Cup. Not only that, they might be one of the teams that might go the long way and even win the cup for that matter. This is a bigger deal than a lot of people think, because for a team that became a full-time ICC member in 2017, just 8 years ago, they are already one of the strongest teams coming out of Asia. Now, before we talk about the journey of Afghanistan men's cricket team, hit that subscribe button, and also here's a trailer from our membership.
He also happened to be India's first Test centurion overseas, where he scored 112 at Old Trafford in 1936.
Ranji, who was a prince back then, was known to be one of the finest batsmen of all time until that point. Not only in terms of the way he batted and his style, but also because of the strokes that he brought into the game. Something that was very ungentlemanly back then was the leg glance, and that is something he really used to score a lot of runs.
Duleep Singh Ji scored 254 not out in just 4 hours of batting, which at the time was also a record for the highest score in the Fenner's ground. The Afghanistan Cricket Federation was founded in 1995. This was a period where Afghanistan was going through a lot of decades of turmoil, and so it was tough for cricket to take center stage. With limited facilities and recognition, cricket of course was going to face an uphill battle in a country like Afghanistan, but by 2001, Afghanistan had already become an affiliate member of the ICC. With them becoming an affiliate member of the ICC, this was also a new dawn to a lot of things that they could access in cricket. For example, by 2003, they were a part of the Asian Cricket Council, and this meant that they could start sending their teams in and around teams and countries in Asia to play some valuable cricket. This is also evident because in August of 2003, the Afghanistan team sent its side to play in India for 10 matches. In October 2003, they also continued to go on and play a series in UAE. Not only the highest level of teams, that is the international team itself, but also age group teams from Afghanistan were able to get access to these tours. The under-17 side was able to participate in the under-17 Asia Cup the very same year. Pakistan as well opened their doors for Afghanistan cricket team to come and play cricket. They allowed them to take part in their domestic state level tournament.
2006 was a significant year for Afghanistan cricket, because in the ACC trophy, Afghanistan had progressed to the semi-final but had lost against Hong Kong. Ironically, this loss sparked a passion and determination amongst the players and the people in the country to not just get better at cricket, but to start beating teams as well. It was this loss that ensured in the following year, in 2007, Afghanistan cricket became a better and a much stronger team. Because in the ACC T20 trophy that happened in Kuwait, not only did they progress to the finals this time around, but they were also the joint champions with Oman. They also had a fantastic group stage campaign, because by the end of the group stage, they were second on the table, losing only one game, and that was against Oman. What's outstanding is the fact that the highest run scorer in the tournament and the highest wicket taker for Afghanistan was Navroz Mangal, the captain of the side. In 6 matches, he scored 263 runs with a very impressive average of 63 and a strike rate of 122. And in these 6 matches, he also had 3 50s. Not only that, in these 6 matches, he also picked up 11 wickets with an economy of 6. Now, this win was significant for a lot of reasons. Just the year before, Afghanistan had lost against Hong Kong in the semi-final, and in 2007, they were crowned the champions. But not only this, they had come back home where everyone had celebrated their win. It almost felt like a nationwide event, and they were welcomed as heroes. They were not just celebrated by the members of society, but even government officials had invited them for various events where they were congratulated. Now, more than the sport itself, this win symbolized a hope for unity. For a country that had been through war for 3 decades, this win had given a purpose to the common man to not just have hope for the country, but to also look forward to their cricket team winning more and more matches.
And this was also evident in 2009 when the Afghanistan Cricket Federation filed to become the Afghanistan Cricket Board. The idea was to elevate their status and become an independent governing body so that cricket could flourish in the country. This request was eventually approved on June 2nd, 2009, and the Afghanistan Cricket Federation officially became the Afghanistan Cricket Board, an independent governing body that would work towards the best governing practices for cricket in the country of Afghanistan. You could also immediately see how this had a positive impact on Afghanistan's cricketing performances. Just a couple of seasons prior to 2009 was when Afghanistan played their first ever ICC tournament. It was the ICC World Cricket League Division 5, and they narrowly managed to make it to the next division. And this is where the Afghanistan team was building on their skills as well as their confidence, and they became an absolute powerhouse in division cricket in the ICC. Division 4 saw them go unbeaten throughout, and they also went on to win Division 3. Because of all of these victories and promotion from one division to the next, they also eventually eventually got to play the World Cup qualifying round in South Africa in 2009. While they did go on to qualify for the Super 8s from there, they narrowly missed out on their dream of making it to that 2011 ICC 50 over World Cup. However, it was evident that Afghanistan was doing a lot of things right because they were progressing through each of these divisions extremely fast. Despite their heartbreak of not being able to make it to the 2011 World Cup, that tournament was still very significant because it ensured that Afghanistan got ODI status when they beat Namibia in that very same tournament. Again, no surprises because Navroz Mangal, their captain, was once again the man of the match in that particular game. Afghanistan scored 243 for 7 in their 50 overs and were able to skittle out Namibia for just 222, winning by 21 runs.
The 2010 saw another significant jump in Afghanistan cricket because they went on to win the ICC T20 qualifiers in the UAE, where they not only won the finals against Ireland, but they were undefeated in the entire group stage. Now, in retrospect, if you look at the scorecard, not only was it a convincing victory for Afghanistan, they won by 8 wickets, but it was also an upset because by then Ireland was a much better team in terms of ICC status as compared to Afghanistan. Afghanistan's campaign in this tournament wasn't a surprise at all because if you look at the most runs scored, Noor Ali Zadran was the second highest run scorer, but more importantly, the 2 highest wicket takers in this tournament are from Afghanistan. With Mohammad Nabi leading the charts in 6 matches, he got 13 wickets with an economy of 6.5. Now, because of this victory, Afghanistan found its place in the T20 World Cup in 2010, where they faced India and South Africa. Unfortunately, they went on to lose both matches, but it was the step in the right direction for Afghanistan because this is when they started playing the big nations. Interestingly enough, in the second game against South Africa, Afghanistan could restrict South Africa to just 139, which was the second lowest score in the tournament. And not just that, at one point, South Africa were 90 for 5. And so even though Afghanistan did go on to lose the game, these were signs that there was something really special in this cricket team. Even at the age group level, the cricket was growing because the under-19 team had qualified for the World Cup in New Zealand, and even though they had only won one game in the group stage, it was against the arch rivals Hong Kong. And this was again a very convincing victory because in the 50 over World Cup, Hong Kong had been bundled out for just 137 and Afghanistan had gone on to win by 8 wickets.
Seeing as to how well the Afghanistan cricket team was able to do despite the fact that they had limited resources meant that the ACB could now think about planning something more. And this is where in 2011 the Afghanistan Cricket Board laid out a 5-year strategic plan that would help the Afghanistan cricket team grow faster and better. There were 5 main goals and they were all around promoting cricket in the country, but even beyond that, just ensuring that the domestic structure is a lot more solid and that there are a lot more cricketers that Afghanistan can produce for the highest level. Along with this, it was also important for the Afghanistan Cricket Board at that time to ensure that they are able to meet their financial needs independently. Along with the board's plans, the team also did not let the nation down as they qualified once again in 2012 for the T20 World Cup. Call it a coincidence or not, but Afghanistan once again faced up to India in the first game. While they lost this match and the next one against England as well, coincidentally they were dismissed against England for 80, similar to their second game in the first World Cup that they played. Sharjah was also the home ground of this Afghanistan side and 2012 saw a couple of significant firsts for them. The first one being that they played a full ICC member in Pakistan at Sharjah for the very first time, and later they also hosted Australia in an ODI in Sharjah. It was all seeming to go uphill, and this was also ICC's notion on what Afghanistan Cricket Board was able to achieve because in 2013 Afghanistan was granted associate membership by the ICC.
Afghanistan cricket almost seemed unstoppable at this point because in 2014 and 15 they participated in yet another T20 World Cup, but more importantly they had also qualified for the 2015 ODI World Cup. And this is more important because it was in this World Cup they got their first ever World Cup victory, which was against Scotland, where they bundled Scotland out for 210 and they won by just 1 wicket. This year also saw Afghanistan play a 4-match ODI series against Zimbabwe, where they drew the series 2-2. Asghar Afghan in this season also became the captain of Afghanistan, taking over from Mohammad Nabi. More than the World Cup win, there were significant steps taken for Afghanistan cricket from the ICC because now Afghanistan was inducted in the ICC Future Tour program. They were also part of the 12 ODI team rankings, and from the last time around this was another step up because this time they had also defeated Zimbabwe in an ODI bilateral series 3-2 and a T20I series where they won 2-0.
2016 saw Afghanistan feature for their 4th straight 2020 World Cup. This was an improvement on their first couple of years as they qualified for the Super 10 and were notably able to beat West Indies, who eventually went on to become the champions that year. Things were starting to improve at the grassroots level as well because the under-19 team of Afghanistan in this very year won the plate title. And for people who today know stars like Rashid Khan and Kareem Jannat, they were a part of these under-19 squads. The laurels kept flowing in because 2017 was once again a landmark year where ICC recognized the Afghanistan cricket team as a full member nation. They were also granted test status shortly after, and they also played their very first test match against India in Bangalore. This was a big deal because apart from getting all of these statuses, their domestic cricket also took a step up. All of their games were now recognized as List A or first class matches. By this time, Afghanistan cricketers were also starting to be picked up by T20 leagues all over the world. Notably, the likes of Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi, and so many more in the years to come were now becoming a part of the IPL. And they were not small players but very impactful players for their respective franchises as we know today. And this is where the BCCI also needs to be lauded, not only for the fact that they were including these Afghanistan players in the IPL drafts, but even apart from this, the BCCI was supporting the Afghanistan cricket team and the Afghanistan Cricket Board. They not only provided financial help but also provided a lot of infrastructure for the Afghanistan cricket team to use. They also provided grounds in Greater Noida for Afghanistan to practice, and even apart from that, they even played a few of their international games in India. Since the turn of the decade, Afghanistan has taken its cricket to a whole new level. Now when we talk about Afghanistan beating important sides like a South Africa or an Australia, it is not something that you can categorize as an upset. Afghanistan are a really strong side, and this was also evident in 2023-24 where they not only beat Pakistan but also teams like Bangladesh and South Africa in ODI and T20 series. Most notably, the 2023 ODI World Cup is something that a lot of people will remember for Afghanistan. They beat a lot of strong sides like England, Pakistan as well as Sri Lanka amongst others. This ensured that they were able to make it to the top 8 of the World Cup. It was a great tournament with a lot of heroes for Afghanistan cricket. The likes of Ibrahim Zadran, Azmatullah Omarzai and Rahmat Shah with the bat were dominant throughout the 2023 World Cup. With the ball, there's no surprises. The likes of Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi and even Naveen ul Haq were extremely effective for Afghanistan. All in all, by the end of that World Cup, they were no longer the minnows that a lot of people thought that they were, and they've actually been turning into one of the strongest sides in Asia at the moment. But if the 2023 World Cup was a great performance from them, they took it a notch higher in 2024. In the T20 World Cup was where Afghanistan made it to the semi-final, a huge achievement in itself, but the sides that they beat along the way were something worth boasting about. While it was expected that they would beat sides like Uganda and Papua New Guinea, they also managed to beat Bangladesh, but along with that, they also beat the likes of Australia as well as New Zealand. And this ensured that by 2025, they were also able to participate in their very first Champions Trophy. With the trends in how Afghanistan cricket in such a short period of time has grown so tremendously, it would not be a surprise if they go on to win this Asia Cup or at least challenge for the second position. Also, with the rise of T20 cricket and how franchise leagues are taking all over the world, it is important to understand that this might be a great source for Afghanistan to be able to produce a lot of more young cricketers who come through the ranks. Afghanistan is one of those sides whose journey has been tremendous to watch, and they are also one of the sides that in a very short period of time have become world beaters. This has been our video on Afghanistan cricket and how they've progressed through the years. If you've liked this, definitely leave your like, subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. Also leave your comments down below on what you think of the Afghanistan team and who your favorite cricketers from that team might be. If you don't follow us across socials, definitely do that from the links in our description. If you aren't a member yet, we'd urge you to join our membership to get exclusive cricket content on some really deep and interesting topics in history as well as analytics. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.